When I was young, I wanted straight hair. For those of you who recall freshman year, every morning I woke up at 5 a.m. to wash, blow dry, and straighten my hair. People constantly complimented me on my new look, and so I made sure it was straightened every day because it made other people think I was pretty. By the time I was 13, I was already aware that my body was formed bigger than some of the other girls around me. As a result of this, I always imagined myself with a smaller body because I wanted to look like those girls. I used to push down my baby fat in order to see what I would look like if I were skinnier. I never went swimming with others around, made sure my legs were covered, and wore loose shirts in order to not show any part of my body. These insecurities, on top of many, were formed because I had wanted to fit in perfectly with everyone in all places. When I arrived at Pomfret at the age of 14, I had continued my habits of constantly checking myself to see if my hair was straight, my clothes were nice, I looked pretty, my body was skinny, was deemed smart, and wasn't seen walking alone ever. I was young and vain, and I cared more about fitting in than anything else. My mindset shifted once I realized that people I knew at Pomfret and at home had the same insecurities. I witnessed the disheartening things they said or did to themselves. This ranged from body shaming, skipping meals to lose weight, obsessing over wanting larger muscles, and calling themselves dumb, irrelevant, and worthless. After listening to them, I realized that I was doing similar things to myself. If I wanted to help others embrace their insecurities, I would need to accept my own first. I made it a goal at the end of my sophomore year to focus on the qualities that make me me, and to strive to find things that bring me happiness. This meant I had to find ways to appreciate myself, and I did this through little things. Some days I sat in my room and wrote notes to myself about what I love about who I am, and stuck them in my drawer so I could read them on a bad day. Other days I would stare in the mirror and admire my attributes instead of picking out any negative ones. And most days I would try to learn more and more about who I am. It took my drive for personal growth to fully experience the liberation of focusing on the well-being of myself. I have grown older and wiser, and now I've stopped worrying about perfection. And through my journey of self-discovery and self-love, I have come to understand that there is no reason for anyone to bring themselves down for any part of themselves that they perceive to be negative. For those of you who sometimes feel uneasy about certain things about yourself, you need to know that your hair is beautiful in every kink, coil, curl, and straight strand. Your skin is beautiful in every shade of color, from the very lightest to the very darkest tone. Your body is beautiful whether large or small, and it does not need to be the most muscular, the strongest, or the prettiest. Your beautiful scars, spots, stretch marks, and cellulite are what make your body unique. There is no need for you to be the smartest or the most athletic. You don't need to be a prefect or have a title to be a student leader. You don't need to be the most relevant or popular person in the room. You don't need to walk with others wherever you go, and you don't need 100 fake friends. You just need one good one. The point is, you should never change who you are physically, mentally, or emotionally to be accepted. The most important thing I understand now is that you don't need validation from anyone. You can only validate yourself. You are smart, you are beautiful internally and externally, and you are more than what you set yourself out to be. You don't need to fit into any label or category or a group of people. And once you stop focusing on what other people think about you and fixing yourself so that you are perfect, you will find yourself and see that you are worthy and important. Today, I can stand in front of you and say that my nose is big, my teeth are crooked, and there is acne on my face. My body is imperfect with its large hips, thick thighs, stretch marks, cellulite, and stomach rolls. I'm not the smartest or the brightest. I'm sometimes an introvert and sometimes an extrovert. I have a few friends, and sometimes I'm antisocial. All of these things could be considered negatives or flaws by some. I know I used to put myself down for certain things like this, but all of these things are what make me myself, and I accept them, and I'm now learning to love them. Sometimes I do struggle, but it's all part of this journey. But something that I know that is always certain is that I'm beautiful internally and externally, and you are too. Most certainly, I now know that my hair most definitely does not need to be straight to be considered beautiful. Thank you.